Don't forget to subscribe. Also, click on the bell for notifications. Hello, it's November 21st, 2019. It's been a while since I had done a video. It's not that I don't like doing them, it's just I've been busy lately. I have been doing some sewing in between. I do have videos, so I'm going to try to work on that and edit this video to include that. But I have done an apron, also a hand mitten for the kitchen. It took me a while for this since with work schedule and all that, and my crafting is learning experience. I have not sewn. I think maybe I took a class in high school, but it was like a really quick, but I never completed any projects or anything. I'm just doing trial and error, learning from YouTube as well. So I still got some ways to go. You know, again, it's trial and error. So if you're seeing my YouTube and saying that my stuff is not that good, guess what? I'm a newbie. We all have to start somewheres. If you're inexperienced, you know, and don't see my videos as educational, you know, just close this up. Just go check out another video. But for newbies that want to try and are afraid, because I know I see a lot of people very experienced and it's kind of intimidating. So a lot of times it's like, I want to do it, but then I don't want to start because my stuff is not going to look like theirs. So this is more of anybody that wants to try something new or is afraid and stuff like that. It's all about trial and error, and that's how you get your experience from a beginner level to more advanced. So for me, it's been since summer, I've been trying to do different crafting. So it's from my Cricut machine, doing the faux leather, using the Cricut machine as well, to now sewing. I do have a serger now, so that's kind of helping me, but more along the lines, I'm leaning more to this sewing machine, learning how it sews, and I do need to get more of a professional industrial, just the way it could handle thick layers of stuff, but I have to be careful because the needle does break, and sometimes you could feel it try to like push through like a lot of layers of fabric. Okay, so my apron, I just have to do a few minor sewing on the sides, but I have been, again, working a lot, so I gotta have income some way. I am a single mom, so I have 4 kids. One of them's on vacation, which I have to still take care of him. The other one is working, but at a part-time basis. As well, I have two daughters that, you know, I have here. I live in California, so it's very expensive. So right now, not only that, I'll be in a 20 years. Right now, I'm taking a class for medication calculations, trying to get into the nursing program. So right now, I'm studying for the TEAS test, and that's in 4 weeks. So it's just been very, very busy. You know, just went from 38 hours to 50 to 60 hours. So, you know, it's a crazy holiday season, but anything for my kids, but as well as I'm trying to do my crafting, but you know, I got to get a set income right now. So, okay, so this is one of my things that I have done. I'm not sure if you've seen my little pattern before, but I have done this. It's like kind of dirty. This is mine, but this is when I ironed it. My son uses the iron, so I don't know, some stuff. Oh, I used adhesive for the layer right here. So I think I kind of like messed with the adhesive and it got stained. I did add a pocket to this, but I didn't like the pocket. So when I have time, I do want to do an embroidery design or place some kind of design from the Cricut and just put some maybe glitter vinyl, you know, and add it to there. But noticing with the aprons, the light colors is very, very hard to maintain. Again, I wish I had got the Scotch Guard and sprayed it, but it's more for a waterproof to prevent from any stains. But this is not going to be my kitchen one since it's light, and this is for my crafting, because I still want to get into epoxy, but that's going to have to be something where I have to get my mask and all my protective devices. Hearing a lot related to that, so I'm gonna have to use a well ventilated space. But for right now, my craft room is in my living room, and it has expanded a lot. But I wish I could craft a lot more. But maybe after the holidays and everything, my second son that's working part-time, he's trying to get into a hospital. He does have his pharmacy tech, so you know, that will kind of maybe help me a lot. Or, you know, if he finds his own place, you know, I'll just have, it'll be just me and my 2 girls. So, until my other son comes back from vacation. So, okay, so these are the ones I have to sew. Again, this is a triple layer skirt. This one I put the, let me see, hold on. Let me pause this really quick. Okay, it's the interface I added on here, and it's to the first 2 layers to make it more thicker and sturdier, as well as the back, and I just did it as a one layer. But I think I'm gonna just add 2 pieces of fabric because I did wash it to see if the stains will come out, and it kind of leaves like a wavy pattern. So when I ironed it, it looked a lot better, but I will add a picture on this showing you how it looked after it got washed. Okay, and then the bottom layer, I did double it, and this one I added Heat and Bond Ultra. So this one, if you're gonna do that, get a lint brush. At my house, I have lint brushes, and I had bought some for my craft, but they disappear. My son does take them. He's very, very picky on his clothes. We do have dogs, so he likes his clothes without the dog's hair or any kind of lint. So he's a very perfectionist. So again, this is double layer, and at the time, always make sure you have enough material. But again, this was my first time, so I didn't know how much material this was going to use. You need at least 3 yards of fabric for this apron, or at least 4, because when you do these areas right here, your bias, you're going to use the material that you have, and then I do maybe like 2 inches, I think, 2.5 inches, and then fold them and make my bias myself. So having 1 yard is like, for this one I had bought a yard, and I had to like 3 times do this one right here. Like add them in there. Let me see if I can find a little. Like, so you won't have these this problem right here. So and I added these on the side right here. Oh, I was able to get all these sides not too bad. So I was trying to, it took me a while for me to put these on, trying to figure out where to stick them at. So, and right here, it was very hard for me to sew through these triple layers, especially this layer right here. I know this I could do better, but again, this is my first time getting a serger. So look at it. So I think I like just regular sewing. So or just do the serger before I even sew it on. And then I'm still learning the tensions and all that. So again, this was my first time. I was very wanted to try it. So I did a different stitch on this side compared to this, trying to figure all the settings and stuff. So let me see if I could get this. So and right here, I added, this one is very thin because I ended up adding an extra piece because it was too thin. Right now I'm in the process of trying to lose some weight, so you know, I'm trying a new product from the vitamin system that I use, and it's actually working with my energy level a lot more and my appetite. But this is how it looks on me. This is, again, this is the first time using it. I used the pattern that it came with, and for me this is too short. I'm gonna have to make it a lot longer so it fits. So again, this was my first time making this, so just learning how to make the pattern and stuff, so when I make the next one I can make the adjustments to it. But if it's fine for my daughter, the only thing is this is too big for her. You know, I made it more for my chest, be adding the extra piece. And for her, I think next time I'm gonna just do like a square type for my daughters. So this is how it looks. I just need it to cover this area and stuff. So, you know, I like this style. I seen it online, you know, so. Tell me how it came out, even though this is my first sewing project. You know, I just went for it. It took me weeks to finish it. Just trying to learn my next move on what to add next. Should I add this? Should I add this? And also, you know, I did put a pocket right here. I think I had a picture, so it's gonna be in here somewhere. It's probably before this or after this. So, but then I decided to take it off because it ended up coming out crooked. So, all right. All right, let me go back. So I'm making an apron right now. I'm trying to do some biasing around this. I had made the top, which I placed the interface in the back. I might add an extra material just to cover the top part. But this bias, I was gonna just sew it around, but last night I YouTubed a lot, so I'm gonna end up doing, let me see, this is a little bit bigger one, and this one's for the apron. This one's going round. I was trying to do a rolled hem, but ended up messing up my material where it kept on folding over on the curving areas. So with this one, I ended up, okay, so this bias I made myself with this little gadget right here, and then I just ironed it and put some starch on it. So on one of the folds right here, one of the folds, I just pinned it at first, and then eventually I was just moving it around. But I followed the fold, and then I just sewed it. I tried to go as slow as possible, but it was kind of too slow, so I kind of speeded it up a little bit, but not too much. And then I went around. Since doing it, just folding it over, it's gonna take me a while just to try to adjust everything. So with this, once it's completed, I am gonna add in another of the backings, this back here, to make it more sturdier, since it's this one's kind of thin and see-through, as you can see. Even though it's gonna be a couple skirts on there, I'm gonna make it a little bit more sturdier so it could sit the way I'm envisioning it. So with this, This is going to actually go over, so that way there won't be no fraying. It's going to go over this, and this one's already folded too. So I'm going to wrap it over. Once I'm done adding that extra piece to there, I'll probably have to trim some of the material on the bottom, but it's going to get sewn, so that way it won't have any of the fold over, since it's already sewn on. So this is the part that's going to be showing. So as you can see, since it's already sewn on, I'm not going to have that problem where it's going to sew all messed up. And when I sew, I'm going to sew right underneath here. Since this side is already sewn on, I want to make sure that this side is secured. And then with that, it's not going to have any areas where it's going to have fraying, since both sides are folded. Okay, and this one is the same as this one. And let me see. I'm gonna probably need to get larger ones or just the material, but this is less than 1.5 inches. It says 25, so I'm thinking it's probably centimeters for this. So, all right. Oh, let's see. This one's smaller. This one, I try to do I was gonna try to sew the edging to see if it looks good on the other piece, and then just do like a ruffle. I was gonna ruffle it, so this was gonna be the bottom part of it, but I don't have my ruffler for my serger, so so that's why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. Okay. So, and then this one I tried to, that one I tried to do different, try to save some money on this one, because that cost me maybe at least $25 in material, with the Palon, the interface, the heat and bond, and the different patterns. The pattern was more expensive than the solid color, and then plus to do the embroidery and the time for it. So this one I tried to do and added the spray. So I got the, what is it, Gorilla Glue spray adhesive for the fabric bond, but not liking it, because I tried to remove the thing because it looked like this. So I ended up washing it, trying to see if I could remove it. It did come apart, but once I re-ironed, I ended up sewing, flipping it around, sewing around here on my regular sewing machine. So, and then once I ironed it together, there was still adhesive on there. So, once I ironed it, it looked straight, but once it dried down, it left all these little lumps. So, next time, I am just gonna double it up and not add anything in between. For mine, I just wanted the firmness, since I like the look, but again, it's very pricey to put together and time consuming. So, okay, and then This one's my next one. I still gotta finish. This one, I was gonna add the second skirt. This one has like maybe 4 different sizes of skirts, but I messed up. See, this is why I like the heat and bond. So it kind of thickens it up and you can't even see through it. But with this one, without adding anything, this is a double layer too. You can see through it. So it makes a big difference, that heat and bond. So I don't know. It depends on if I do enough and see how well they market to see what I want to do. But a lot of my family wants something a lot cheaper. So I'm only doing a few of these ones, as well as I'm going to just do some basic ones. But the solid ones are a lot cheaper to make than the pattern ones. I have a nice red one. It looks like a what is it, those bandanas. So that one's a beautiful one, but the pattern is like very expensive for the yard and stuff. So this was supposed to be the pattern for the second skirt. I'll let that run. But I made the wrong size layer of skirt. So this should have been a little bit smaller. So this one's like a basic 1 layer skirt. So I'm not sure if I want to add a second layer, but I am going to double it up. So I might put the heat and bond in there. I'm not sure, to make it much more sturdier, and then add another layer, but probably just the basic black. I have the regular top. I'm not sure if I want to add this or add a black. I'm looking at embroidery patterns with some skulls, but I'm not sure. Or I am going to probably do a heat and bond and just cut out some of the skeleton heads and then just iron it on the specific spots. So, okay. And I was gonna finish it, but I couldn't because it was too short. This is, I had bought 1 yard, and this is all I can pull out of the yard. So I ended up getting more fabric. So I still gotta, like, again, finish this up and then finish the other one. And then, where's my store-bought? Hold on, let me get something really quick. Okay. Got my little dog over here. Okay, so a few years ago I got this from the store. So since I had the pattern here, I decided to maybe try to do one myself. I do need to get some chalk to do the lines to make it even, because when I sew it kind of looks like it's going straight, but then it's not going straight, or it's going to straight for that spot, but to get to the next line it's crooked. So this is the one I made compared to this one. You know, this is my first time making one of these as well. Thankfully, I did a lot of, you know, stocking up for a while. So I did have the interface, as well as I had some thick adhesive foam that I did. I tried to do like 1 layer and one layer of each, but then it was too thin. So I ended up doubling that one up as well to hold up inside the oven. It feels a lot much more sturdier compared to this one right here. So, and it's a lot bigger. My kids actually like how it feels inside this one compared to this one. The only thing I did is, next time I do make these, these ones I did it myself, and it has like the lines are a little bit off, but I don't think it's too bad for a first time doing one of the mittens. Again, yeah, this is my first time. You know, I was kind of afraid. I'm like, maybe, I don't know. I have my friends kind of like, for the stocking part, kind of like, you know, I had another friend that wanted stockings, and they kind of put my name on there. But I'm like, no, because I'm doing this more for crafting, or you know, when I have time. For now, again, you know, I need to make sure I have something where the income's coming in constantly. So I have a regular one, so I am gonna try to do a stocking, probably a little bit different than this one, because I don't like the pattern on this area. My kids have like a lot of stockings, but they're getting a lot bigger, so I might make them something a little bit much more bigger. I'm not sure if Santa's gonna give them anything small or big, or just, you know, something under the Christmas tree. So last year Santa got Alicia a Santa sack with her name and everything, so I'm not sure if Santa's going to be bringing her another sack. So, you know, because there is a Santa, okay? All right, so in between this, there should be videos on how I did this. Again, this is beginners sewing. I need to get back to my cricketing too and all that, but we'll see. Well, till next time, you know, we'll see. Hopefully I lose some more weight. All right.